Welcome you all for the today's class. That is, we'll be discussing about the RAID levels. In the previous class, we have come across the techniques such as the RAID techniques, such as striping, mirroring, and parity. In striping, you are trying to copy the data to the different disk at that same time. In the mirroring, you are trying to store the same copy into the another disk. And in the parity, you are making sure that the contents are being copied. And if any data is being lost from the parity disk, the data is regained. Okay, now we'll see that how these techniques have been applied to get the data. So that is called as RAID levels. So remember that why these levels are being applied is the first one is the performance to get the data what you have been required, and also the cost. So these levels are being defined based on the striping, the mirroring, and parity techniques. Now how do I apply these techniques based on which your RAID levels are being defined? Now, based on these RAID levels, as I stated, the three levels are there: the striping, mirroring, and parity. As I said, how do I apply these techniques on which our RAID levels are being defined? Now, when I apply, I can have a combination. As you all know, we are having the combination. We apply if, else, and nested if. The same way here also they are trying to apply here. The one, if I only use a striping, so what is the output? If I use mirroring this technique, then what is the level I can have? Can I combine the striping and the mirroring, this functionality? Or can I combine the striping and the parity? Or I can combine the mirroring and the parity. So these combinations have come with the RAID levels. Though, so we have totally 6 levels. The first one is RAID 0, where we apply only the striping technique. Next one is the RAID 1, where we apply the mirroring. And there is something called as nested array. That means I am trying to combine the striping and mirroring both together. Okay, either I apply striping first and then mirroring, or I apply mirroring and then I apply the striping. And the third one is RAID 3, where I am combining striping and the parity. Again, even in the RAID 5th also, I level, again I do that striping with the parity. And RAID 6, again I combine the striping and the parity. So please remember, the striping is very easy because it is a faster. The read and write operations are at a faster level. But when it comes to the mirroring, the data storage capacity is needed more huge, because it is copying what you are writing, right? So to get the data, availability is good in the mirroring, but the availability in the striping is less. So this is why they are, as people are needed in data very faster, right? So the RAID levels are more combined with the striping and the parity. So we'll look into these levels. The first one is RAID 0. So this RAID 0, what is he trying to do is he is using the striping technique. As I have already said yesterday, the striping technique is it is distributing the data to all the disk at the same time, so that the read operation is done at the faster rate. It is not only dedicating one disk at a time. Whole data will not be stored in one disk. So please remember now. And the second one is it is going to utilize the full storage. That means it is using all the disk. And there is a input and output throughput, that what you have been asking. That means the data you request, the data you get back, that is at the faster rate. But the problem he tells is the protection and availability is being less, because as the data is being distributed among all the disks, so that is a problem associated with RAID level. Now I want to just show you here that in this RAID level how the data will be transferred. Now you can see that we have a data A, data B and data C. Now once it comes this data A, whatever I'm been writing, it enters into the RAID controller. And what does the RAID controller do is this data is divided. It is going to send one data here. The first one is A1. You can see here the A1. The same data A is being divided. It is going to send here. Then the third is divided here. The next one is a fourth. And next one is a fifth. The same data is being divided. So please remember that one. So like this, once it is being done, the read operation is done very faster. That means I am trying to read the data or I'm trying to write. So it is being distributed in all the disks. Now what happens is very simple. Whenever I request the data, wherever it is available, it is being fetched back. So no need to search any particular disk. So all the disk, so I can say disk 1, disk 2, disk 3, disk 4 and disk 5 are utilized, completely utilized. So this way the RAID 0 is been performing. But he tells what is the problem he has been defined. The data protection and availability is a biggest problem. Now this data A is divided into 5 chunks. Now, in case if this disk is being damaged, please remember the availability means if this disk is being damaged, then it is difficult for me to get the data. Now, if in case this fourth disk is being damaged, then it is difficult to get the data. The data will not be available, and at that same time the data is not being protected. So this is the functionality of RAID 0, and obviously it is not what you say benefit to the people. So this was not, it was out of the box. Then next, moving on to the next one is RAID 1. In RAID 1, what they are trying to do is it is applying the mirror technique. As I already stated, mirroring is having an exact copy. The what is the benefits of this one? It is going to provide you fault tolerant. Fault tolerant is anytime you lose the data, you should get back that same data. And where all it is being applied is wherever you have a high availability of the data. For example, how does this do is the data A, B, C, D and E that is being sent. What is this RAID controller is going to do is first it is going to send the data for here. As it is a mirroring, it will first store A, right? And at that same time the same copy is also again fed to the disk 2. The A is being copied, content A. Then again the copy, that is B, the data B is being sent. Then what it does, I said mirroring. Then when it comes at this point, B and B, multiple copies will be made. Again the C is been there, again the multiple copies of C will be divided. Okay, next D, E and F. So here once the data will be transferred, you can see that the multiple copies will be fed. So D and here also D. So storing. Now what happens? Even if suppose in case I say that this disk is being corrupted, but for me, is there any data loss? No, there is no more data loss. I can get it from the another disk where it is having DEF. Now, what happens is one, if in case this disk fail, I can replace with the another disk and copy all the data that is available from this disk again back to the new disk. So this was the what is the functionality of RAID 1. But if you see here, the multiple data is being stored. That means you need more storage capacity than storing of the data. So this was also a drawback of the RAID 1. So they said, no, this is not good. We don't want to waste more on the storage capacity. So I just want to go on to the next one. So for that purpose, what they have done is they have gone for the nesting. So what they said, okay, chalo, we'll apply the striping and the mirroring. So in this one, they are using this both the techniques they are combining. So chalo, first I'll do mirroring and then I'll do striping, or I'll do first the striping and then I'll do the mirroring. Right? So either way, the first one they applied RAID 1 and 0. RAID 1 is mirroring, please remember, and RAID 0 is striping. So when they combined these both, it gave a technique a level as RAID 10. In this one, what they are going to do is, the first one is they are doing the RAID mirroring. Okay, so as the term suggests here, it is the first one. One means what I have said, it is mirror. So please remember, I do mirror. That means multiple copies are being created. And after that, I do the striping. Stripe 0, that is RAID 0, that means a stripe. I will copy into the multiple disk. The same data will be divided. Now, when I do this one, I am mirror, that means I'm making a multiple copies and copying it on the different disk. Then what happens? Obviously, the data, whatever I require, is available. So I can rebuild that data. The second one is the RAID 01. So 0 means what I said, it is a stripe, and then I will copy that one. So here what happens is, the entire data you are striping it, that means you are dividing the data in the chunks, and this same data, what you are doing, you are copying it. Okay, so please remember that you are copying that same data, whatever it is been there. So let me say it as A, then you have here what is it, B, and then C. The same data will be copied as A, B, and C. Okay, now what is the problem, or what are the benefits of having these things is, now this is like you have been getting the data because you are having a multiple copies, then you are been storing. But in case in this one, even one single disk also fails, please remember, even one single disk also fails, then this entire stripe will be failed. So there is a lot of the disk sorry, the data is being corrupted. If in case it get corrupted, then you are unable to get that data. Okay, so we'll see through the diagrammatic representation, then you'll get to know it. Now this is a diagrammatic representation of the nested RAID. Now you can see here, this is the first one is RAID 10. That means one is, I said it is mirroring, and the second one is 0, that means I am striping. Now I have to apply, first one is the, so it is taken in the reverse manner. So this is here 1 and 0. So first, as I said, 0 means it is a stripe, right? You can see, as I said, stripe in the sense the multiple copies of the same data, it will be divided and it will be stored. Now when this data A is there, it is being divided as A1, right? And then it will be divided as A2, and again it will be divided as A3. What happens is, all this data will be divided, right? Next, what happens is, here I am applying the mirroring technique. So at this point it comes here, so RAID 1, A1, and this will be A2, and here will be A3. Okay, this data striped. Now I am mirroring means what happens? Once the data comes out of this one, I'll be having as A1 copy, and here also I'll be having as A1 copy. Here also it will be A2, and then here also I'll be having A2. So please remember that I am striping this one. Okay, and here in this one, when A3 it comes out of the mirroring, then it will be having multiple copies, A3 and A3. Simple. So here you can see that this one particular disk here, whole data has been stored, the stripes, and this is the another one. Now what is the benefit? Now in case this disk fails, Please remember, in case this disk fails, but still the data is available here, so I can get back that data. I can get back this data. So that is not a big problem. Yeah. So this is the benefit of RAID 10. Now coming back to the 01. Okay. In the reverse manner, 1 means what? First I need to do mirroring and then I need to do striping. So mirroring, the data A is there. So it will be A, and here also it will be A. Now when I stripe this, A data and here also A data will be divided. Stripe means what? A1, A2 and A3, where it will be writing into all the three disks. So please remember that one. Now the same here again, as I said, it is a mirroring. It is being done A1, A2 and A3. It will be divided. Now in case, as I said, this data will be divided in the chunks. In case if any data is being lost here in this particular disk, then this will not be, what is that? The data will not be available. Because here if any changes are being made, then here also it is going to affect. So the both the nested levels, either it is RAID 10 or RAID 01, were having the drawbacks of each other. Again, having the multiple sets, having the multiple storage, so that was the drawback. So they said that having this storage and all is a big problem. So can we go with the another set? So this is the same what is that, RAID 01, right, where we have been having the striping and mirroring, how it has been done. So this is another diagrammatic representation, a colorful diagrammatic representation, I can say here. Okay, so they have gone for the RAID 3 and 4. Now you can see this. What is this level RAID 3 and 4? Here in this RAID 3 and 4, what it is being done is simple. They are not going with the data mirroring, but they are going with the striping. So it is going to stripe the data and they are using the parity for the fault tolerance. Remember, whenever the data is being lost, how do I get the data is through the fault tolerance itself. So for that purpose they are using this parity to get the to recover the data. So even in your laptops or in your PCs or in your mobile and all, there is called as a recovery button, right? Recover the data. So at that point these parity functionality is used for this one. Now here what this RAID 3 is going to do is, it is helping to read and write the data all across these disk. You can see here the disk it is been writing. All right, so these all the disk are being utilized. We have one disk where it is maintaining all the parity disk. Regarding these all the data disk, it is going to maintain the parity. Now, I can ask, ma'am, where is this applicable? So, it is applicable whenever you want to get the data backup and for your video streaming. All right, whenever you're playing online games and all. So, this is such a type of the RAID levels are being used. Now, when I'm been talking this RAID 3 and how is it different from the RAID 4? So both are almost the same, but in RAID 4 what you can do is you can read and write the data independently based on only one single disk. Suppose I want to get the data, I can get from only one particular disk. So please remember, this is completely one disk and they are dividing in terms of the stripes. All right, and when I go for the benefits or the advantages, it is providing the best throughput. That means whenever I request the data, I should get back the data within a shorter period of the time. From the request, getting back to the data is at the faster rate. So when compared to RAID 0, when compared to RAID 1, and comparing with the nested RAID 3 and RAID 4 provided the better performance when compared to that one. So for that purpose, you can see that there is only just a parity. If any loss of the data, now you can say that, madam, how do they get that one? Now in case I have this A4, right, this disk fails. When this disk is going to fail, then this parity disk is going to be applied. It is going to check the contents A1, A2, A3, and then this parity. Based on this XOR operations, once it is performed, the data will be recovered. And please remember how this data will be recovered, because all the data is stored in terms of zeros and ones, right? So this is the benefit of RAID 3 and RAID 4 levels. Moving on to the next one is RAID 5. So, what does this RAID 5 again use? Which implementation technique it is going to use? It is again going to use the RAID 4 technique, RAID 4 level, which is built upon that one. Now, when I say RAID 4, then what is involved in RAID 4? It is striping and the parity. Now, what does it do is it is going to have a parity location. In a RAID 4, if you see, you are using a separate disk, right, as a parity disk itself. But in this one, you are not going to have that one. The parity disk will be within the disk itself. Now you have here the data A is being divided into A1, A2, A3, A4, and here is the parity being checked at this particular stripe. Please remember. Then for the B, that is a stripe B1, B2, B3, here I am going to calculate the parity for that particular stripe and then going to store this data. So what we are going to do is we are going to check the parity all across this one, so that the problem while writing, that one is being reduced, so that whatever we are having the writing bottleneck, that is being overcome. Now where is this application being used? Especially they are using in the messaging, they are using it in the data mining, in the relational database, and in media serving. So if any changes are being done, then they are going to recover the data at a very faster rate. So please remember here this parity bits, if in case the this particular disk is going to fail, right, at the time for the data, the stripe C, if you compare, C3 data will be lost. Okay, but what happens, this parity disk, here CP is being there, it is going to recover all this data from the another disk. So here they are going to calculate it and they are going to regain the disk. So this is how usually the whenever the websites and all they have been hacked, they are going to store the data in the multiple disk. So they are using their that method, the application that they are using is the striping. So whenever there is a change in data, the data is being corrupted, that particular disk is being lost, then what they do, they regain that all the data applying the parity levels, parity technique, and this is how they are going to regain the data. Then moving on to the next one is the RAID 6. Now you can check here in this RAID 6, we have been using, it is built upon the RAID 5. When I'm been saying it is built upon RAID 5, then again it is also using the striping and the parity. How does it differ from the what you say, the RAID 5? Here we have been having the two parity elements, so that it can check if in case two disk fail. In RAID 5, any one disk fail, the parity is being used. Here we, in case more than one disk fails, then what it can be done? So for that purpose, the RAID 6 was being developed. So please remember this one. RAID 6 was being developed in case there is a failure of the two disks. Now the previous slide, if I move, in this one, if in case, as I said, only one disk failure, suppose the failure of first disk and the failure of the third disk takes place, but how many parity we have? We have only one parity, and that is also been lost here. And here also we have been losing A3 A1 data and A3 data. So these both disk are being corrupted. So that means we can only recover the disk data from the disk of only one. So that is impossible. For that purpose only, they have gone to the RAID 6. So this is the benefit of over the RAID 5. Now we have been having here two penalties. You can check here, that is parities. AP is there and AQ is there. It is going to check if, even if, now when I'm saying two disks are going to fail, suppose A3 disk fails and AQ disk also fail, but still we have a parity being there, we can recover the data of the disk from the third one. So this is how the RAID 6 is more beneficial than the RAID 5, and we are able to rebuild this one and rebuild the data for a longer time. So this was the benefit. Now as we have come across a RAID 0, okay, and then we have RAID 1 which have been failed, then we came across 0 1 or 1, 0 1 or 1 0, and based on this one the RAID 3 was being developed, and on this RAID 3 I can say RAID 4 has been achieved, which is using the parities, and upon this one we have come across RAID 5, which was unable to recover the disk data from the disk where more than two disk fails. For that purpose we are using the RAID 6 level. So this is how the disk operations or the recovery of the data is being done. So current level to get the data that is being lost is RAID 6. Okay, so please remember, other than this one they are not still they are coming up with the new techniques. Hope so we might be getting sooner even the RAID level 7 also, right? And the next one, you can see this is the overall consolidated table where we have been having the RAID, what are the minimum disk, what is this cost, what is the read performance, and what is the write performance. Okay, hope the concepts are clear regarding the RAID level for you people. Thank you.